Okay, so basically we're gonna work on our spaceship. It's been a while since I've actually pulled this up, but we're gonna start our spaceship here. And so the first and foremost thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with just basically a box. Now I've got the information inside of it. I've got frozen, so actually I can go and let's take off realistic so we don't get our shadows. Okay, so once I've got this in there, I'm just going to quickly line it up like this and just to get a rough idea. Now it looks like my top view is a little bit off than my bottom view, but that's okay. So I'm going to convert this. First I'm going to go Alt X, and that'll make it transparent, and then I'm going to convert this to an editable poly. Okay, so from there I'm going to grab the inside here, and I'm going to just hit delete, and I'm going to go off of that real quick. And then what I'm going to do is essentially I'm just going to start modeling. Now when you do this, you want to make sure that you don't worry about trying to get all the sides at once. You can kind of adjust back and forth. Since this is a very rough sketch that I did, I'm going to essentially mirror this. So I'm just going to add the mirror right there on there, and I'm going to just do an instance, and I'm going to say okay. So let's do the Y here, and this should be perfectly fine. So now that I've got my original box, and you label everything, of course, so we're going to call this ship real quick, and basically we start off with really basic stuff here. You know, you want to get the form going on, so the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of go in and grab the form here, and I'm doing this partially back here. In fact, let's go somewhat back like this. And then what we can do is we can just simply extrude, and I'm just going to extrude it once, and this is not going to line up, of course, and I'm going to extrude it twice, 3 times. Alright, so I'm going to just do that, and then rotate it straight down to kind of line it up, move it over here, and something like this. So then what we're going to do is just start by building up, and I'm using Alt W, of course, to go back and forth between the pieces here. And like I said, just a matter of kind of lining this up. So something along the lines of like this. And then we're just going to go real quick into the edge mode here. And I'm going to connect that once. Connect that. And so there's my whole link of stuff in there. And again, just go back into my vertex mode or whatever I like using. And I think what I'm going to do is pull this a little bit forward. And just start fleshing this out like so. Alright, so once that's done, you know, I've got my base object measured in one side. I'm going to go in real quick here And actually, let's see here, let's go into polygon mode. And because we extruded, it's going to extrude these faces here, so just going to quickly delete those. And then we're going to go on the top here. And grab this and just connect that once more. And we can just start trimming in our and as you can see, I'm just kind of moving things in, moving things out here. And it looks like that my vertical size is not as good or as tight as my my vertical here view is a little bit bigger than my top view, so and that's just basically going in and rescaling the box, but I'm gonna more freehand this. So I'm just kind of getting an idea going on here. Alright, so and I like my shaded views more than the realism views. I've always found those to be better. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start going up here and just simply moving this in and moving it down just a hair, and that's going to, I'm going to just do every other one kind of like so. And I just want that, I want a nice hull shape going on. I want to make sure I've got, and you know, you can always Alt out of the Alt X out of the X-ray mode. And see, sometimes you'll get weird things like this going on, and that's because we're just screwing with the geometry. So if you go in here, you can go into turn right here, and you can see where the turn is. And right now it's okay. I'm not too unhappy with it, so it's going to have to get changed down the road here. So, but that's the start of it. And so what I'm going to do is go into edge mode and loop and do ring this one all the way over, and I'm going to connect that real quick. So now that that's in there, I can start, you can see how I can start easily shaping out that spherical look. And I'm just going to start moving these so that it alright. And just once you get your base shape in there, and you can tell where things are going wrong, because like right here, the flow of this ship should be a lot smoother, so I should probably raise this up here just a hair. I mean, it doesn't need to be much, but you can see where that flow now looks a lot better of the ship. And then let's grab all except this, and we'll start moving this in there. And I'm just going to move this in a little bit more. So once you get the base parts going on, which, you know, you can see this, even though this is a rough sketch, I'm still getting the ideas going on. And like I said, once you get the base parts going on, it's just a matter of starting to add in you know, your base shapes. So if I like this, let's do the wings here. Now there's 3 wings, and so I'm just going to not worrying about connecting things right now or making space. I just want to form out the general idea of the ship first. And so let's go in here, and I'm just going to do, for the first part, let's do a box here and right there. Let's do a big one, and again right there. And then this one has 3, so I'm just going to make 3 wings really quick. Alright, so with those 3 wings, I'm just going to move one and move another like so, and then start with another one. Okay, so the first one I'm just going to actually, sometimes it's better to go in here and get your ideas. So I'm just going to move these 2 forward so I don't have to worry about looking at them. Alright, so let's Alt-X this, and then I'm going to add in, we're going to just add a segment in the middle here, and I think that'll be fine, 1 segment. And so let's convert this to an editable poly, and let's just move this up and over, and something along the lines of like this. And now because this is bending, like so, let's just move this over like so. And let's take this, and I'm in object level here, so I'm just going to rotate this up and over like so. And I think that's pretty close. It's a little bit off, but I get the idea of what I want going on. So, you know, you get your form down, and that's really what you're worrying about. Everything else can be kind of tweaked and played with later. So once that's done, I'm just going to leave that in there for now. And then let's see here. It's been a while since I've looked at these drawings, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out how I want my ships here. So I want the bottom wing. Let's go in and move this one back in here. And again, I'm going to just Alt-X so I can see what's going on here. Move it in a little bit closer. And I think on this one, I'm just going to do 4. And the reason I'm doing 4 is because each segment kind of breaks into little pieces. So what I mean by that is this one comes inward like this. This one starts coming outward. And there's my point. And then let's move and just start forming. And I just want to get a decent shape in here. And I'm making this just a hair longer for the fact that when I rotate it, so something like this. And actually, So let's rotate this really quickly. And that's the start of that. Now, as you can see, I'm getting two things. But before I do that, I kind of had this idea where the wing goes inside the other wing. So what I want to do is, let's grab these edges real quick. And let's connect. But we're going to connect it twice. And say OK. And then what I'm going to do is go into this mode here and just start moving these pieces like so. And that's my alarm for picking up dinner, so let me go shut off that. Sorry about that. So then once that's in there, like so, and actually we can go in here and we're just going to rotate this kind of angled like so. And let's just kind of move something along the lines of like this. So, and again, watch your, you want to watch your curves, because in one space it looks fine, but when we manipulate it in another, it's kind of off a little bit. So we're just going to, for now, put it like that. Alright. And then take this final piece here, and we're going to move that in. And again, make that transparent. And this one doesn't need to be as thick. So what we're going to do is we're just going to narrow that down. And let's give us some segments to play with. I think 2 looks good. And we'll convert this to renewable poly. And let's just start moving things over a little bit here. Alrighty, and again, just, when you're doing this, make sure you pay attention to where things are going. So I'm just going to move this up over here. And again, as you can see, I'm changing my ideas just a hair. So again, make sure your curves are in the right spot. And that's one of the biggest problem people have, is they move things in one area and they don't realize that it changes it in a whole nother section. So now this looks kind of awkward and lumpy, but it's the base shapes all the way down. So what I'm going to do first is let's start figuring out how to connect this stuff. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go in and delete the mesh there, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to start on this solid form here, and what I'm going to do is just go in, and the first thing I'm going to do is actually select the whole thing, and I want a smoother look, so I'm going to go down to auto smooth, and I'm just going to auto smooth this at 180 just to to get rid of some of that feeling there. And then let's see here. We'll grab this, and let's just start off with this, and let's ring it. No, not ring. Yeah, ring. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to do a connect, and this one I'm going to do a pinch, so it's going to come over here, and we're going to say OK. And now whenever you manipulate a line, always you want to go in and play with it a little bit. So I'm just going to move it a hair. I'm not worried about, you know, that type of thing. So I'm just simply going to delete that, and we're going to go into this one here, and going to attach, and going to attach that like that, and you're going to get this solid line on both, and it's going to be separate, of course, but we are going to work together to. So I'm just going to, and I'll form the shape later, just collapsing this stuff here. And again, I have my hotkey set up for collapsing, so like so. And there we go. So I'm just going to just move it just down a hair, just to give me a little bit more feeling here. That it's got a thickness, and I can, yeah, something like that. So, okay, that's the first one attached. I don't like the way this is attached here, so we can just kind of move that like so. All right, let's get the other fin going on here. So actually, the nice thing about this fin is, let's zoom in a little bit here. So I've got this fin back here, and what I'm going to do is actually grab this loop right here, and I'm going to ring that, and then I'm going to connect that, but I'm going to connect it with 2, and I'm going to just do 0 there, and then let's just separate these just a hair more, like so. Alright, so once that's in, I can simply go into this section, delete that, and then I want to add this one in there, but I want to delete that edge face first, right there, and then something along the lines of this. Let's just attach this bad boy right there, and I'm just going to go into element mode, and because it's not attached, I can just grab that element, and I'm going to just move it back a hair. No big deal. And then we're just going to grab those 2, and I can just go in and Alt-X. Alright, and then Alt-X back. So there's my ship. Now, as you can see, this kind of is weird. I can almost take this, and let's move this up just a hair and over, and we can, you know, we can play with the streamline of the ship effect. You know, you don't want to have, you don't always want to have it, you know, set together like that. So then what we're going to do here is I see this piece, and I just want to average it out a little bit. just something to kind of clean up a little bit more. And then let's do the bottom one here. And the bottom one, we've got our information pretty much in there. But we got to attach it along this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this here, and I think that's pretty close to where I want to attach. So I'm going to ring that, and then I'm going to chamfer this actually. And I'm going to chamfer it so I can actually control the numbers here. So that's at 1. I think that's okay. And yeah, we'll say that's good. So at this point in time, what I want to do is I want to go in here, and of course you see our issue here. So I'm just going to really quickly just delete these out, and then really quickly, like I said, I'm just doing a real quick delete here. And delete. Actually, let's keep that in there. And I kind of like that shape better. So let's go into edge mode real quick, and I'm just going to collapse this edge. And we're going to grab that one, and I'm just collapsing these edges just so it makes it a little nicer. And then we got to clean this up, so let's bridge. Let's go in and bridge. And bridge is not in my shortcut menu, so we have to go further down. Bridge is simple, just click and drag. And again, remember to keep open the end cap. And alright, so that bridge is done. Now let's go back. Let's unhide everything. And let's jump into our spaceship. And let's go into the poly mode, and this is, I'm going to delete this one here, and then I'm going to delete that one back there. So, and we're going to have to adjust these accordingly, but for now, let's just grab the edge here. Actually, let's attach. So we've attached this, then let's grab the edge here. And did I not? Let's make sure I collapsed the right thing. Nope, I did not delete that. So let's go in there and delete that. And hit delete. And alright, so let's grab this. And I'm just going to move it roughly over here, and I just want to make sure that these pieces don't and sometimes you gotta just zoom up in there and get what you want. Okay, so something along the lines of like this. And let's do undo. Alright, and then we can just move and move. And sometimes if you don't want to ruin the form, you can target weld, and that'll do just as good. And I plan on going in and cleaning up the forms in a little bit here, so alright, let's go in. Alright, so there is our base fundamental ship. Alright, and it kind of has that idea of what I want. I think it looks overall well done. And from there, the next one, what we'll do is we'll start implementing a little bit more detail, some of the nodules, stuff like that. So we're going to get some more interesting stuff in there. All right?